Quick note before we get into Zen Browser. This setup works with all coding agents, fits the current setup, and with Conductor at conductoros.com the execution stays fully local on your own machine. Now, let's look at why this browser suddenly has people calling it the Arc Killer. Zen Browser is one of those rare open-source products where the first impression and the architecture story line up. The post we're reviewing says it crossed 41,000 GitHub stars, runs on Firefox, ships across operating systems, blocks trackers by default, and costs nothing. That gets attention, but the more important claim is the design decision underneath it. Zen is not trying to win by repainting Firefox. It is trying to change the way you move through work on the web. The official site frames it as a calmer internet. The repo frames it as a Firefox-based browser built to push productivity further. And when you line that up with the docs, the through line is clear. Zen keeps asking one question. How do you stop your browser from turning into a graveyard of tabs, half-finished tasks, and broken context? The post points at workspaces first, and that makes sense because workspaces are the architectural center of the whole product. In the docs, Zen describes a workspace as a focused area where you group related tabs by task, project, or theme. Instead of one giant horizontal strip where everything fights for attention, you get separate tab contexts that you can name, iconize, and switch instantly. The docs also connect workspaces to Firefox container tabs. That matters because it means your work browser, personal browser, shopping tabs, and account-specific sessions can live inside one browser window without constantly stepping on each other. So the pitch here is not just better tab organization. It is project separation, account isolation, and less context loss. That is the reason this does not feel like a normal pretty Firefox fork. The browsing model itself is different. And the short teaser clip from the post matches that story. It is only about 23 seconds long, and it has no narration, but it shows the actual Zen interface in motion. You can see the dark vertical sidebar, pinned app-style shortcuts, workspace or tab labels like Personal, ChatGPT, and YouTube, and the new tab control living in the sidebar instead of a top tab strip. Then the browser opens a real product page for Alcove, with the Download for Mac button front and center, while the active page title stays visible in the left rail. That matters because the clip is not showing a toy mock-up. It is showing a real browsing flow where the navigation model stays stable while the content area changes. Even in a tiny teaser, you can already see the core pitch. The browser Chrome is working with your workflow instead of shouting over it. From there, the next important feature is Glance. The docs describe Glance as a way to preview websites on top of your current tab without fully switching to them. By default, you hold Option and click a link, and Zen opens that destination in a floating view. The top left of that view gives you three choices. Close it, expand it into a real tab, or split it into a split tab. That sounds small until you connect it back to the tab hoarding problem. In most browsers, curiosity creates clutter. You open a link just to check one thing, then you forget it, then your tabs multiply. Glance turns that into a temporary inspection step instead of a permanent commitment. Combined with workspaces, this creates a cleaner browsing rhythm. One feature keeps projects separated. The other keeps quick checks from polluting those projects in the first place. That pairing is a big part of why Zen feels opinionated rather than ornamental. The same design logic shows up in split view and compact mode. Split view lets you put up to 4 tabs side by side, and the docs say you can drag tabs from the sidebar into place, unsplit them, or snap them into horizontal, vertical, or grid layouts with shortcuts. This is not just a nice visual trick. It makes comparison and multitasking feel native instead of improvised. Then compact mode strips back the browser Chrome even further. Zen can hide the sidebar, the top toolbar, or both, and bring them back on hover or with shortcuts. So you get 2 different modes of focus. Split view is for when you need multiple sources at once. Compact mode is for when you want the page itself to dominate the screen. The interesting part is that both features come from the same philosophy. The browser should flex around the task you are doing right now, not force every task into the same tab bar and toolbar template. Zen also has the kind of ecosystem details that help an open-source browser stick. The site has a full Zen Mods marketplace with community-made themes and plugins, and even the first page shows how broad the customization story is, from borders and find bar tweaks to tab controls, audio behavior, cursor changes, and text size. The docs also lean on Firefox foundations in a very direct way. Passwords, cookies, and cache are managed through Firefox. Zen says it tracks Firefox updates closely, and Firefox Sync works through your Mozilla account, so bookmarks and history follow you across devices. Then there is the open-source proof sitting in the repo itself. On the GitHub page, we can see about 41.3 thousand stars, over 160 releases, more than 200 contributors, and badges showing 16 million downloads, strong localization coverage, and passing release builds. That combination matters. It means Zen is not just a beautiful landing page and a viral post. It already looks like a living product with a real community, a real release cadence, and a lot of surface area people care enough to extend. So the honest takeaway is this. Zen Browser is getting attention because it looks polished, but it is keeping attention because the product decisions are coherent. Workspaces reduce context sprawl. Glance reduces throwaway tabs. Split view makes comparison native. Compact mode gives content more room. Mods let the community keep shaping the interface. And the GitHub repo plus docs make the whole thing feel grounded instead of hand-wavy. If you want to try it yourself, the source links are zenbrowser.app and github.com/zenbrowser/desktop. And one last note. This setup works with all coding agents, fits the current setup, and with Conductor at conductros.com the workflow stays fully local on your own machine.